Warcraft Stupidest Dragon by PlatinumWoW.
With the new Dragonflight expansion coming out, we know that there are going to be multiple returning characters whose stories will continue in this expansion.
Tyrande? Really? I think Tyrande is
Wrathion,
not there.
one of the more interesting and complex characters in the game's history. The
Is he?
story of the Black Dragonflight Prince has spanned over multiple expansions,
Actually,
and
yeah,
the situations he's
that's
been in
Cataclysm.
and the decisions he has made have been questionable at best.
Wait, was it Cataclysm? Wasn't his first quest in like classic WoW? Or actually, it could have been added in Cataclysm.
Let's learn about this dragon's blunders, triumphs, and ultimately how he's been labeled as one of Warcraft's stupidest dragons.
Who labeled him that? That's the question.
The origin of the Black Prince is in a zone you probably wouldn't expect. Across the barren dunes and ravines of the Badlands, a red dragon by the name of Rheastraza is experimenting with black dragon eggs. Under the guise of a goblin, she simply goes by Rhea. With the help from the player characters, you partake in a questline that involves the imprisonment of a black dragon.
Wait, so you had the black dragon, Nefarian, experimenting on red dragons, basically. Mostly red dragons, I believe. And now you have a red dragon experimenting on black dragons. So who's the bad guy?
Named Neixandra, who is being forced to lay eggs by Rhea. The reason for this is she is trying to experiment and try and purify these dragon eggs of corruption. Because literally almost every black dragon is corrupted. And while it might be a noble cause, it's a pretty brutal thing to do for a member
100%.
of the Red Dragonflight. Anyways, during this questline, you find a Titan of Ice that purifies one of the eggs. Obviously, the Black Dragonflight does not like their eggs being stolen and experimented on, so they attack the player character.
Makes sense.
In the process, you kill Neixandra. This questline ends with Rhea being burned to literal ash by Deathwing, but that purified egg had found its way to the Twilight Highlands, where the Red Dragonflight are protecting it for safekeeping and until it gets stolen.
Nice.
Hi. This section of our story is a core part for the legend.
So who is the idiot here? The red dragonflight or? Okay, this is for what, rogues? Yeah.
Legendary Daggers questline for rogues in Cataclysm.
Rheastraza is understandably upset. Under her care was the one black dragon egg that we believe was free of the taint of Deathwing's corruption, and it was stolen away from us by thieves in the night. You've found for us our only lead. The rogues from Ravenholt are behind this.
To blame, yeah, okay.
Ravenholt?
Oh, I remember this.
It just doesn't make sense.
I didn't even know this was a questline for the legendary daggers. I'm pretty sure I just did it.
A band of petty thieves? How did they even know about the egg? We'll get to the bottom of this.
Madness.
And so, the player character and the Red Dragon Mostras travel to Ravenhold Manor, and rogue players put their skills to the test and sneak into the building and creep into the dark depths
Must be hard
of
as
the
a rogue.
basement in order to find their prized egg.
It hatched.
That's right, mortal. The prize you seek no longer sleeps within a shell.
The fucking turn.
Here I am, in the flesh.
Oh,
I'm not
shit.
some trophy for a red dragon's mantelpiece,
Okay,
and
so
I'm never going back.
Okay, so he orchestrated his own theft, abduction.
Don't look so surprised. We dragons are conscious even within our shells.
Oh, is that
As
what
I
it is?
grew, I could hear the plotting and scheming. I was to be born a prisoner.
Oh,
But
is that what it
I'm
was?
one of a kind. A black dragon raised free from the taint of my father's corruption. And that's how I
Okay.
intend to stay. Free.
Your Highness, we caught this beast snooping around the caves just outside the compound.
I'm not afraid of you. Wait,
Oh,
who are you?
You don't recognize your former prisoner?
Shall we execute him, my prince?
No. I want him to deliver a message to the Red Dragonflight. Tell them that I am free of my father's madness, and I will be free of them as well. I am to be left alone.
Does it
This
take
will
one
be
of his
my
arms?
first and only warning.
But Deathwing's minions may have you killed.
Deathwing's minions should be afraid of me. Get him out of here.
Break his legs or
And
some shit?
Farad, break his legs.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Break his legs. I remember that.
Now then, my new friend, we
Oh, yeah.
have much to talk about.
Like, why are you turning like that?
The player character teams up with Wrathion and his roguish goons to dispatch of his corrupted Dragonflight relatives, and Deathwing himself. Players travel to the ruins of Gilneas, the Tower of Karazhan, and even the final raid in Cataclysm to defeat Deathwing and claim the components to make their legendary daggers. Once that's all done, they return to Ravenholdt to discover a grisly aftermath.
Literally a bear? Oh no.
Your eyes do not deceive you. The treacherous Red Dragonflight sought to kill me off. I hope now you see the truth about them. Champion, you have your reward, but there is one final dragon we need to slay.
My
Oh.
prince, we should leave this place in case they come back to finish the job.
Farad, I was just talking about you.
Oh,
the
really?
Final Black Dragon. The one who's been more hidden than any of them.
Your Highness, I have never tried to conceal what I am from you.
Yes, you rescued me while I was still within my egg, and I owe you my life. But you are a black dragon, and
Okay.
you share the corruption of all my brothers and sisters.
That is not true.
Do you deny it? The dark visions, the voices in your head?
No, no, I am in control of the voices. They're here to help me.
And what
Oh,
are
boy.
they telling you now, Farad? What do your dark masters whisper?
They want me to kill you now. Oh, why did you have to go and anger them? You have proven too difficult to control.
Okay.
I will never be controlled. The Red Dragonflight has no idea what they unleashed when they experimented on my egg.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's the cleansing or something, but it's like he's a bit too powerful for his age, isn't he? Like he should be like a dragon whelp at this point, no?
Hero, strike now! Use your newfound power to finish him!
Stoic as fuck. Oh, is that because is he stoic because PlatinumWoW is always like stoic voice when he makes his videos? No, that's not PlatinumWoW with the stoic voice. It's what's his name? No? Oh, I forgot the name.
It is
Or-
done, friend.
Or is
To
it
my
PlatinumWoW?
knowledge, I am the only black dragon who remains. A new age for mortals has dawned, and heroes like you are among the vanguard. I must go now. Disappear. Perhaps we will meet again.
Yeah, see him up.
I hope we find ourselves on the same side.
See, he's a whelp.
Till we meet again.
He's a fucking whelp. How to defeat a full-grown dragon? That makes no sense. Or like even lock him down. Ah, here we go.
But it wouldn't take long for us to run into the new
No, it's not PlatinumWoW. Fuck. Oh, Kalani. Kalani is the. No, it's not Kalani either. Sounds of Kalani? Who's the stoic guy who makes the WoW stuff? It's not Kalani. Ah, fuck, I don't remember.
self-proclaimed leader of the Dragonflight.
Yeah,
In the next
okay.
expansion, Mist of Pandaria, Wrathion wandered across this new continent. While exploring this strange new land, he made his home in an inn called the Tavern of the Mists. There's also a drugged out vermin under the floorboards of the inn, and in the back there's a bunch of monkeys in a hot tub.
Don't
This
ask.
is not important to our story, but I just felt the need to
Don't
mention
ask
it.
questions.
Pandaria,
You don't want
A
answers
land
to.
of mystery, history, and opportunity.
Also, during this time, the young dragon got two bodyguards, who are simply named Left and right. Apparently, this is a reference from Game of Thrones, where an old grandma also has guards who are referred to as left and right, but I don't know. I'm not a nerd who reads that stuff. Anyways, while the Horde and the Alliance waged war trying to claim the territory over this strange new land, Wrathion played a different role and helped players obtain their legendary cloaks in a long, complicated questline. This questline begins with Wrathion summoning the player character to the Tavern of the Mists to discuss a disturbing vision he had.
This is the turn of legendaries.
My favorite master
it became a pain in the ass.
I was hoping I would find you here in Pandaria.
Oh.
Very good. Let's talk. Tong, drinks please. My father, Deathwing, tried to destroy the whole of Azeroth. He was misguided, of course, but he was right about one thing. Our world is so fragile. We are a point of light in a universe of shadow, a candle in a tempest. Sometimes I think it was the very precariousness of our world that drove my father to madness. Thank you, Tom. Now to my point. I believe we are headed towards a reckoning. And no, I am not talking about the current conflict between the Alliance and the Horde. But the war deeply troubles me. Believe me, what Garrosh Hellscream achieved in Theramore is nothing compared to the horrors that are even now bearing down on our fragile home.
Oh, those guys.
Do you see my concern? A divided Azeroth cannot possibly stand against the darkness.
It doesn't matter. The jailer planned it all.
End soon, before it consumes our strength. I want you to know that your alliance has my full and unwavering support in this campaign. How do we bring a swift and decisive end to the conflict? I believe the answer lies with heroes like you. We must ensure that you are up to the task, and then equip you accordingly.
Okay.
So during Mist of Pandaria, Wrathion had a vision of the Legion
What is that?
invading.
Oh,
An event
Sonic.
that would eventually happen
The fuck?
2 expansions from now. Since Wrathion is the new leader of the Black Dragon Flight, he
Well,
had
we
the
went
full
back in time, right?
responsibility
So,
of
you know.
defending Azeroth, and he would stop at nothing to make sure the people of his world were
Look at that
prepared.
face.
His plan was
Here's
to
the
have
best
one of
part, though. I don't remember Wrathion being in Legion at all. I don't think he was. No, he was. No, that was BFA too. Yeah, he was nowhere in Legion at all. Like, he worked so hard to bring us together, to be united for the Legion, and then he wasn't even there to help us fight the Legion. What the fuck? Makes no fucking sense.
Dominate.
Oh, we had
and fully
Khadgar, right? So
conquer
it's fine.
the other, so that they could be united as one.
Wait, that's not.
Now, the faction
That's not
Wrathion
the
allies
sword.
himself with is entirely dependent on what the faction the player character was a part of. So for this video, let's just say it's the Alliance.
For the Alliance.
Now, most of the legendary quest line is not that remarkable, and is mainly just Wrathion sending players to go do chores and gameplay-related stuff. But meanwhile, Garrosh Hellscream, War Chief of the Horde, is running around warmongering around Pandaria.
Hell
During
yeah,
this
brother.
time, he bumps into Prince Anduin of the Alliance, who is protecting an ancient Mogu artifact called the Divine Bell. This is also one of the funniest cinematics in Warcraft history, because Anduin just spouts a whole bunch of expository dialogue, and Garrosh ignores literally all of it.
The Mogu made the Divine Bell to create chaos, but the Pandaren created a special mallet to turn the echoes of that chaos into perfect harmony. That mallet was hidden for thousands of years, until now.
Die, whelp!
Yeah, he just doesn't give a fuck. And no.
After breaking a 10-ton bell over a 15-year-old child, Garrosh then runs away like an evil cartoon villain, and somehow Anduin survives. His wounds were tended to, and he found himself recovering in the Tavern of the Mists, where he first met Wrathion. The first scene we find of them interacting together is them discussing the mysterious Isle of Thunder, and the recently resurrected Mogu leader, Lei Shen.
The fucking... the head nod, I love it. The head shake. Oh, here we go. That's what they're playing,
Why
right?
did you play that piece just now?
It's a Pandaren board game. The object is for both players to win.
That's ridiculous.
Oh
The
shit.
Thunder King. What a magnificent individual. Could you imagine what his empire would be like today if it had not been overthrown and hidden by the Pandaren?
I couldn't imagine a crueler tyrant.
Crueler
He
tyrant.
enslaved this entire continent. But I can tell you, no great empire has ever stood the test of time by crushing its own citizens. Remember, the Mogu were overthrown. That
He's
should
like
be
he's
the
not
lesson of the
impressed.
Thunder King. It's your move.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I worry you may be too soft to wear your kingdom's crown, Prince Anduin. You would do well to learn some of your father's hardness.
Are you lecturing me? You're what, 2 years old?
2 in dragon years. It is your move.
No, 2 in our
Champion,
years.
return now to the Isle of the Thunder King. I will meet you at the forge, where together we will create an instrument of legendary power.
To what end? What are you two working towards?
World peace.
Using a Mogu weapon forge whose powers you barely understand.
Yes.
My dear Prince, you and I share the same goals. We only differ in our level of commitment. Come, hero. Let us shape a new Azeroth together.
That sounds rather ominous. So
My
fucking
friend,
whelp.
if you blindly trust a black dragon in the search for greater power, are you any better than Garrosh Hellscream? Please, just be careful.
Uh-huh.
Look, Anduin, I'm gonna be perfectly blunt with you. He's talking about loot, and that's all I care about.
Amen. Amen. The loot. Gotta get that cloak, man. I don't give a shit if Azeroth burns, man. I gotta get that cloak.
The player
Big
character and
damage.
Wrathion then travel to the Isle of Thunder and use an ancient Mogu forge to create a legendary gem. This chapter ends with the player character killing
Yeah, see, I didn't do
Shen,
this.
pulling the heart out of the Mogu demigod,
Nice.
and then Wrathion eats said heart and trips
Nice.
balls.
Oh, I see them. A million worlds glittering in their perfection.
Oh?
But one above all others. Oh.
Oh, we have fallen. We must rebuild the final Titan. Do not forget.
For some reason, Wrathion
Fuck.
eating the heart of a demigod is never brought up in the story ever again. Wrathion and the player character then
Sounds
travel
about
around
right.
Pandora
That sounds like something Blizzard would do. They didn't even know what that was about. Like, they probably changed writers halfway through or some shit.
to receive blessings from the 4 August Celestials.
Yeah.
For the sake of brevity, I'm kind of skipping over this part, and all you really need to know is that the Celestials are giving Wrathion wise advice and helping him deal with his daddy issues. Really, it's just a lot of talking.
100%.
Welcome back, champion. Excellent work
Which
with
is
the
fine.
Celestials. Can you believe how chatty they were? I just wanted them to hand us our reward, but they would just talk. I'm sorry, where were we? Oh yes, I have something for you.
Players are granted with epic capes, but our story isn't over.
Epic,
During the
not
final
good
chapter
enough.
Of our questline,
Not
Wrathion
good
travels
enough.
to the Timeless Isle and he meets with the bronze dragon named Kairos, who's
Oh.
investigating this strange new island.
Oh,
Kairos, I want you
interesting.
to meet one of my most accomplished of agents.
A pleasure.
Tell us again why this island is so unique.
The presence of the Timeless Isle is proof that many things are possible beyond the boundaries of linear thinking. What if it were possible to shape and mold time as you would a ball of clay? What possibilities await? What new worlds could we create?
Full shoulders, though.
I like the way you think.
Kairos will play a very important role
Yeah,
later in
the
our
Warlords,
story,
yeah.
so just remember him for now. Okay, so the player does a bunch of tasks around the Timeless Isle, like collecting 5,000
I'm still waiting to
Timeless
find out
Isle
why he's the
coins,
stupidest
and defeating
dragon.
all of the
Because
4
of
August
what?
Celestials by teaming up with a giant raid group. So the Mist of Pandaria ends with the Alliance and Horde rebels
Yeah.
storming into Orgrimmar and putting an end to Garrosh Hellscream's tyranny. With
Yes.
the Horde at its weakest point, Wrathion's
Father,
dastardly
what are you
plan
doing?
of
What
one
a king
faction
must do.
overthrowing the other was just in reach
I remember that.
until King Varian decided to let them all live and establish peace instead, foiling Wrathion's plan and making his venture into Pandaria ultimately futile.
Idiot, king, fools, imbeciles. A complete waste.
You were there. Is it true, then, what happened in Orgrimmar? That fool king. I did everything in my power. The whole world was his. He needed only seize it. Oh, sure, another year of fighting, enormous casualties trying to take Thunder Bluff, but the rest of the horde would have caved eventually. Talk, drink, now. I thought Hellscream's victory was assured before he turned half of his horde against him. So I changed my allegiance. Oh, don't look so surprised. I'm a black dragon. My loyalties are my own. But that idiot Rin. High king indeed. Why did he allow another war chief? He could have...
High king indeed, look at this.
Black dragon. My
Oh
loyalties
god,
are my
where
own.
is this?
But that idiot Rin. High.
That is so good. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Look at that shit. High King Rin. High King in
King indeed. Why did he allow another war chief? He could have united the world under the Alliance banner. What a fool I was to trust his ambition. Should have taken over the throne room myself, like Auntie Onyxia. Get things
Auntie Onyxia. That fuck.
Enough!
What?
Talk. Always you speak, never do you listen. You ignore the lessons of Pandaria. You see, there is balance in all things. Wisdom etched in our very fur. Black and white. Darkness and light. When the last emperor hid our land from the rest of the world, he also preserved the homeland of our ancient enemy, the man.
He just doesn't give a fuck.
You mistake your greatest strength for weakness. Do you see this?
You're just a waiter. I promise you this. I will stop at nothing to prepare this world for the battle to come.
And then he wasn't even there.
Nothing! Oh, he destroyed my inn. He left no tip. He is not nice.
No shit. Tongue. Drink.
So you might be wondering, okay, Wrathion is clearly arrogant, but is he really the
Super
stupidest
arrogant.
dragon in Warcraft? I mean, he hasn't been that stupid so far, but our story continues in the War Crimes book. Now, this book is one of the more controversial ones, because the story that links the Missive book is one of the more controversial.
Okay, why does Sylvanas look like she's 14? Why does Velen look like he gained 100 pounds?
Ones, because the story that links the Mists of Pandaria expansion to the Warlords of Draenor expansion is entirely explained within this book, and is barely touched on in game, and in this book, we see Wrathion's true stupidity.
True.
So in the book,
I don't know why this wasn't in game.
Are all at the Temple of the White Tiger, and Garrosh Hellscream is on trial.
What was the pre-expansion event for WoD? Oh yeah, the Iron Horde thing.
For all of his heinous crimes. During Garrosh's trial, Terran Zu reads his list of crimes, and I will now quote the book directly. For all the acts you committed in your name, or by those with whom you have allied. Genocide, murder, forcible transfer of population, enforced disappearance of individuals, enslavement, the abduction of children, torture, the killing of prisoners, forced pregnancy, and the abduction of children, torture, the killing of prisoners,
forced pregnancy? Is there rape involved? What the fuck?
Forced pregnancy, and the wanton destruction of cities, towns, and villages not justified by military or civilian necessity. What say you to these charges, Garrosh Hellscream? And then Garrosh smiled, beginning to slowly applaud, while although the chains about his wrists hampered the gesture.
The show has barely commenced, and I already give it a standing ovation. This promises to be more entertaining than the Dark Moon Fair. I will not say I am guilty, for that denotes shame. Nor will I protest innocence, for I claim no such. Let the comedy begin.
Wrathion watched from the stands and thought, wow, this abhorrent, psychopathic war criminal is just what I need to unify Azeroth.
100%.
During the trial, they use a device called the Vision of Time, which is a giant hourglass that can be used to see past events. The Bronze Dragons Chromie and Kairos are also at the trial to help. But secretly, Kairos and Wrathion team up to break Garrosh out.
If anything, I would say Kairos is the stupidest dragon ever for teaming up with. It's like, okay, so Wrathion has a plan at least. Not a good plan, it's kind of stupid plan, but whatever. He has a plan, and he has his the history of why this plan came to be. Kairos just joined in Timeless Isle. Why did he agree to this shit? Doesn't he see a problem with this whole thing? He has no loyalty for his own dragonflight? Like, what the fuck?
Kairos wants to do this because he is kind of pissed the Bronze Dragons lost their powers at the end of Cataclysm and want to help the Infinite Dragonflight and be more powerful in the process.
Okay, so... But you're not going back to the past, you're going to a different world, right? Or did they not get like a straight line on that arrangement? So how does this help the Infinite Dragonflight exactly?
Wrathion wants to do it because he wants to unify Azeroth under one banner. More about his plan later. Okay, so during the trial, Wrathion secretly throws Chromie into a prison, and then Anduin goes to investigate, and then Wrathion knocks him out. Then Kairos uses the Vision of Time to create...
Wait, so... Is that why Anduin punches him when he sees him the first time? Because the last I checked, when he met Anduin, he's like, oh, my old friend.
A portal for Garrosh to escape through. All while this is happening, alternate evil timeline versions of the members of the trial
are you kidding me?
Into the courtroom, and they start attacking their counterparts.
What?
But then the August Celestials are like, no, guys, don't fight. Don't you understand? You too could become Garrosh. So they don't fight their evil counterparts, and they just talk about their feelings. But then there's also the Dragonmaw orcs, and they come in, and they start fighting, and oh my god, you what? Look, that is a really abridged version, but you get the idea. Okay.
What the fuck? Bro, like, whoever wrote that was... Dude, honestly... I knew WoD's story was already kind of dumb, but holy fuck. It's not that Wrathion is the stupidest dragon, it's whoever wrote this is the stupidest writer. What the fuck? Are you fucking for real? This is so dumb. This is legit dog shit storytelling. What the fuck? How did he summon their evil counterparts? From where? From what? First of all, them going to a different universe that is like... I don't know, what is it, 50 to 100 years in the past is already like weird as fuck.
Okay, so Wrathion's plan, what is it? Okay, here's what it is.
Here's the plan.
Teleport Garrosh Hellscream to an alternate version of Draenor from 25 years ago.
25 years ago, okay, my bad, not 50. 25 years ago. First of all, how do you do that? I didn't know Kairos had that power. And no one ever had that kind of power before. But okay. Fuck it, MacGuffin. Okay.
Before the orcs drank the demon blood, Garrosh will then unite them as the Iron Horde and then take them to our timeline through the Dark Portal and then use them to ally all of Azeroth under one banner.
So here's the problem. Why does the Dark Portal connect to our timeline though? How does that make sense?
Unite us and defeat the Legion. Does that mean kill all the Horde and the Alliance in the process?
Yes.
Seems kind of counterproductive, so I don't know. We can just figure that part out later. But wait, it gets better. Okay. Wrathion didn't just want to do this once. He wanted to do this an infinite amount of times. That's right. Just keep opening up alternate universe Draenors and keep growing his army.
Now, let's assume that it's possible to do that. Does that mean that there's multiple Azeroths? Now, the Legion is the Legion in all of these universes because they on a different plane, right? Playing field on a different plane. Is there only one Azeroth, or are there multiple Azeroths? There are multiple Azeroths. Why can't the Legion go and invade those Azeroths? Why do they have to invade ours? And if there's multiple Azeroths, why didn't Rathian just bring more of the Alliance or more of the Horde and like increase their number so they can take over? And by doing that, and while because it does that, he unites the world. But then the Legion can go and take the Azeroth from the other world. Like, this is so dumb.
Imagine an alternate universe in World of Warcraft history where we get 10 Warlords of Draenor expansions in a row.
A lot of content. It's 10 times more content than WoD, so that would make it pretty much a full expansion then.
Does this work? Of course it fucking doesn't. Like, instantly right after Garrosh is teleported to Draenor, he kills Kairos. Wow, so your whole plan relying on an unhinged psychopath who has constantly demonstrated his whole life that he is a loose cannon with anger issues was a bad idea.
Also, why does he just kill Kairos? That makes no sense. Why would you just kill Kairos?
What? Who would have guessed? Garrosh then goes to create the Iron Horde and uses the Dark Portal to
like he was like a murderer, sure, whatever, like a war chief. He was like a lot of things, but he didn't do stuff stupidly. It like he had a reason for doing stuff. He had no reason to kill Kairos.
Invade Azeroth, but the offensive push is
let alone kill him with like a stab in the back. Basically, it wasn't like a duel or whatever. It's like, yo, Kairos, I heard you're strong. Fucking like fight me like a true warrior or whatever, right? Magora. Like, no, he just fucking goes and kills him. Like, what? Someone who saved his life? Forget that there's no honor. That's so low. Like, that makes no fucking sense. For any orc, let alone Garrosh, who at least had some honor in him when he fights. To an extent, right? Like, he, as far as I understand, he was mad about the whole like fighting Bane because he didn't know his weapon was poisoned. Right, he actually won an honorable fight, so this is kind of Karen. Sorry, Karen.
Instantly defeated, and we go to alternate Draenor. Garrosh dies in a 1v1, and we destroy the Iron Horde. But, oh, whoops! Since we made an alternate Draenor, we also made an alternate Gul'dan, who at the end of Warlords of Draenor is teleported to our world and kicks off the Legion invasion in the Legion expansion. So Rathian plays a huge role in the Legion invading Azeroth again. The very thing he was trying to protect us from. Also, let's just not ignore the last time the Legion invaded. The Horde and the Alliance won by teaming up, not by being under the same banner like Rathian was working towards.
Yeah.
He's literally only causing more problems for us. And with the Third Legion invasion, Varian and Vol'jin die, and oh hey yeah, where's Rathian?
Nowhere.
He's fucking nowhere the entire expansion.
Yep.
Side note, in the alpha for the Legion expansion, Rathian planned to
show up. There was supposed to be Rathian in High Mountain. He was supposed to be in High Mountain, not the Tauren guy. But then they changed it to the Tauren guy, who somehow is also a non-corrupted black dragon, which also made no sense because there should only be one, which is Rathian. But yeah.
In High Mountain.
Look, that incident with Iron Horde was just a misunderstanding. Garrosh was supposed to convince them to fight the Burning Legion, not invade Azeroth.
He was swapped for a new character named Abyssian, who is the oldest uncorrupted black dragon in existence.
For reasons.
Okay, back to our main story. The next time we see Rathian, he just shows up in the next expansion
as if he's like
Azeroth
friendly
and waltzes into the Stormwind throne room like, oh hey, sorry about that whole planet destroying invasion I sparked, but it's okay because I'm sexy now, and So yeah, the next time we see Rathian is during the last patch of the Battle for Azeroth.
I can't even say that Rathian is the stupidest one here. It's like, it's not even like the one who wrote Rathian is the stupidest one here. Is the people who forgot about him and just brought him in random are the stupidest fucking, like, whoever, like, writers. Like, not the person who wrote Rathian, not the person who what's it called, who wrote the book for Between Miss and Wad Crimes or whatever. It's literally the person who completely forgot about Rathian existing up until BFA for no reason, especially because all of MoP, Rathian is telling you how he is trying to build an army to oppose the Legion. It's so dumb.
Azeroth expansion. To make up for his mistake, he helps us in defeating the old god N'Zoth, which makes sense because it was N'Zoth who corrupted his father, Deathwing. This is also kind of a soft reboot of his character since he has a new model, he grew up into a Drake, and he's nowhere near as arrogant, but he is still just as snarky.
For an old god who claims to see everything, you are blind to the threat before you.
So Rathian is kind of like our guide in this patch of the expansion, and we go and retrieve the scales from Rathian's relatives, Onyxia and Nefarian, to make another cloak that helps us resist the corruption of the old gods.
That was a nice looking cloak.
And during the final raid, Rathian plays a huge role in defeating N'Zoth himself.
N'Zoth. After getting corrupted by him, obviously.
And that is where our story ends for now. But we know Rathian is going to play a pretty big role in the Dragonflight expansion, where he will discover what it truly means to be the leader of the Black Dragonflight. Rathian is an interesting character a lot.
Well, what I find more interesting than being the leader of the Black Dragonflight is, aren't there like only two Black Dragons right now? Like Rathian and the guy in High Mountain, who at some point I believe he meets Rathian. But you know, like, where do all the other Black Dragons come out of? Like, didn't we like kind of, like, I wouldn't say kill them all, but like, well, if there's no old god, maybe they are not corrupted anymore, but
A lot of players don't know the full story of, because his story is explained to players in a class-specific legendary questline from a decade ago, another legendary questline that was entirely removed from the game, and finally, an external book that players would have to purchase and read, which is why I made this video, because flawed, complex, interesting characters like Rathian are few and far between in the work.
I mean, he could have been so much better. Like, outside of his reboot in BFA, he wasn't really that interesting, I feel like. Well, actually, no. In the Rogue questline, he was interesting. After that, not really. So, like, Missy was like, whatever. He was a MacGuffin, I guess, a tool to get a cloak. It wasn't really that interesting. WoW did not exist, and Legion not exist, and then BFA was like this completely different character, just with the same name and some features.
Warcraft universe, and I'll be watching with curiosity on what the Black Dragonflight Prince will do next.
Nothing. There more? Oh. Yeah, this is the... Yep. I can't believe I'm not subscribed to Platinum. Unless I unsubscribe because you only did like classic. Blizzard, Mid-Rathian, Rogues. Oh, I remember that guy. Everyone else. Who? He is the only uncorrupted Black Dragon. He has a plan. Oh, okay. But Rathian's characters are replaced by someone else here in Legion. This new guy is the oldest uncorrupted Black Dragon that nobody has ever heard of before. Player. Oh, but I thought you just said... Never mind. So anyway, in BFA, Rathian walks in. Wait, who? He was in MoP, but he's not there anymore. Oh, like, wait, new players. Wait, who? All players. He was in MoP, but he's not there anymore. Blizzard. Guys, Rathian is here to help you defeat N'Zoth. New players. I thought BFA was gonna be about Horde vs Alliance. All players. First time. It's so good. That's a really good comment. To be fair, stupidity is to be expected when you're 2 years old and the ripe old age of 12. He's certainly grown wise enough to lead a Dragonflight. More importantly, if he's only 2 years old, why did anyone listen to him? Why did Kairos listen to him? It's like, yo, this sounds like a bad plan. Like, I wanna get power from the infinite dragonfly, but like this does not sound like the person I should be helping for that. Oh my god. Anyways, one of the stupidest dragons, but honestly, I would say one of the stupidest, not stupidest, one of the most neglected dragons. I mean, let's be real. He technically has probably more story in a sense than Alexstrasza, but Alexstrasza, you know more about her than Rathian. Like, you never had like a full legendary quest chain with like with Alexstrasza, for example. Yet somehow you know Alexstrasza better than you know this guy. I mean, yeah, you did have the dragon blight thing in Wrath of the Lich King, but again, how much did you really interact with Alexstrasza herself versus like her assistant? You know, it's like you had a few quests, but it's like you know more about her than you know about Rathian, and Rathian you had like technically involved with him 3 expansions, and you still don't really know anything about him. It's a weird one. Anyways, good vid by PlatinumWoW. I'll link the description. Link the video in the description as always, and yeah.